What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn. Get this. Eddie Hearn on Joshua again. He says that I need him to have another fight with level slightly above Franklin. Eddie Hearn doesn't think that there is any reason to shrink away from the fact that he feels his star charge needs more fine-tuning in the gym. The Matchroom head admitted in an interview that London's Anthony Joshua needs more time to grow with his new trainer Derek James before he is thrown in there against the WBC heavyweight titleist Tyson Fury or former titleist Deontay Wilder. Of course, we know he's coming off a mediocre win against Jermaine Franklin, and this is what Eddie Hearn had to say. He said, I think Dillian Whyte is a great option. Hearn said in an interview with the DAZN boxing show, it's a dangerous fight. I think that's a good fight. There's other guys in the top 15. You're better off being honest and saying, look, this is where we're at. I need him to have another fight with a level slightly above Jermaine Franklin, jail with Derek James, hopefully go in there with a little bit more confidence and prepare for to prepare him for Fury or Wilder. Okay, but we're not ruling that out. If it's a big offer comes or it's a big side fee that comes, we'll take the fight with Fury. Let me counterpunch, people. Eddie Hearn, I don't know what his deal is. I really don't, because he says things that make sense, but then he says things that don't make sense according to what he says that made sense. That makes sense. If he knows that he needs to fight someone slightly better than Jermaine Franklin, then why in Hades is he or Anthony deciding to fight one more time this year? See, what AJ needs is one more fight to show where he needs to be. Slightly better than Jermaine Franklin. So do you really think that's Dillian Whyte? Because that's what I see Eddie Hearn trying to pitch us here. He's trying to pitch us the idea of Anthony Joshua fighting Dillian Whyte in December because he's slightly over Jermaine Franklin. Listen, if anything, Jermaine Franklin and Dillian Whyte showed me that they're on the same freaking level. Straight up. Counterpunch. I don't see Dillian Whyte above Jermaine Franklin at all. Okay? I don't see that one bit. Based on their styles, based on the way they fought. I don't see that at all. You know, and for Eddie just saying that, Eddie's just trying to throw Anthony Joshua a fight that he feels that he's going to win and a fight that he feels that he's going to get credit for, but at the same time, ignore everything that he could possibly learn and put him back. You know what he's doing to Anthony Joshua? He's putting him, he's retaining him. That's what he's doing by putting him in there with Dillian Whyte. How do I mean that? That means that you would rather him not fight, or you know that he's not fighting June. So you need to make preparations for him to fight somebody or encourage him to fight one more time, because that's not a good idea. That's a terrible idea to take the June date away from Joshua. It's terrible. He should be fighting Dillian then if he was going to fight Dillian to get that shit out of the way. It's another rematch that nobody asked for. People didn't mind in four years ago in 19 when they offered Dillian Whyte that fight and he didn't take it, if you guys can remember. But nobody wants to see that now. Nobody wants to see Dillian Whyte fight Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua, you know, it'd be a pretty decent fight for the most part. Jab, jab, hug, jab, jab, jab and grab, jab, throwing wild punches from Dillian Whyte, uppercut, then the fight's over. That's pretty much what you're going to see. So, and here's the thing. How is that going to help Anthony Joshua fight somebody that he's already fought? Counterpunch. How is that going to help him at all? That won't. You know, so if he wants to fight someone that's available. You know what I mean? And that's going to be a thing of challenge, because we don't really know who's available at this point. Zhang, nope. Hrgovic, nope. Who else? Who's available? Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is one, but is he above Dillian Whyte? I don't know. Maybe not. You know, so it's like, It's almost to me like Eddie Hearn has maneuvered himself verbally into the situation to get people okay with the idea of Anthony Joshua taking on Dillian White again, and he's going to wait to December to fucking do it. A total waste of time, a total waste of talent. Because if he's going to take that time off, don't waste his time fighting someone he's knocked out. Put him in there with somebody that we know or we think that could help him. And then another thing, a fight we've never seen before. Rematches, and a lot of people used to talk about Matchroom and they say rematch room and all that. Well, you're making them rather right, and you're making them accurate based on the stereotype or the label that they labeled you. So for Eddie Hearn knowing what Anthony Joshua needs, he's not trying to promote or convince him that he needs another fight if he's going to take on Dillian White, because Dillian White ain't good enough anymore. That's not a good enough fight. Taking nothing away from Dillian White, bars, but that is not a good enough fight for you to skip another fight that you had scheduled. It's not. Because people, if we're going to wait 8 fucking months, 8 months, people, for AJ to fight again, it better not be no fucking Dillian White. And Eddie Hearn is trying to make people think that that's okay and justify it as so. That's the problem. But for Anthony Joshua, it doesn't look good. That's almost like, listen, that's almost like Wilder, okay, beating Helenius, going 12 rounds with him, and then turning around and fighting Dominic Breazeale. Or better yet, Luis Ortiz. That's a better comparison. That's just like him fighting him again. What is that going to do for Wilder? Oh, he's done that already. Okay, that bores the fans. That makes the fans think you're bullshitting us. You're not showing us anything. Your last performance was trash. And then people are going to call it trash now because you're not doing anything better than the person you fought. Because again, people thought that Jermaine Franklin beat Dillian White. So he's not a step above anything. You're just putting a fight in there because they're your fighters. And you're trying to convince people that that's the way to go and that's the best fight that can be made for AJ at this time. But it's really not. That's the best fight or the best fight or the easier fight that you can get made, Mr. Eddie Hearn. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn stating that Anthony Joshua needs one more fight to gel with his trainer. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!